going to let Ms. Love explain about open forum for all the people have maybe have not been here before.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. There are cards on the back table as well as some on the podium. There are speaker cards if you'd like to address Mayor Pro Tem and Council about an issue. We'd appreciate that. You fill out a card. You can do it before or after you come to the podium and address the Mayor Pro Tem and Council. And if you will raise your hand to be recognized, Mayor Pro Tem will call on you. It's good if there are a lot of people raising their hands, if people would move closer to the front. That way we can call on folks more expeditiously. We do not invoke time limits on open forum as we do in our regular council meeting. However, I am sure if somebody gets too lengthy, you may get redirected to the point by the Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And since... Yes.
I just wanted to point out that another Boy Scout has entered the room.
Yes.
And also to invite all the Boy Scouts, if they have anything to say, they're welcome to come to the microphone and just tell us what sort of things are on their mind, how we could make our city better.
Well, usually this is I'm sorry, but this is what we do here. It's a tradition. If you're a Boy Scout and you're in uniform, you've got to come up, you've got to tell us your name and your den and tell us why you're here. So, come on, and I still have the names. I'll start calling them. Alex, Dylan. We don't let you leave unless you come up here and start talking to us. All I need is your name and your name, rank, and serial number.
Okay, so my name is Lincoln Toddy. I'm from Troop 40, and I'm here because I'm working on the citizenship in the community merit badge.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Dylan Schwartz. I am from Troop 40 also, and I am also working on the citizenship in the community merit badge.
Thank you very much. The other two?
I am Alex Marshall, and I am from Troop 40, and I am also working on citizenship to whatever it is.
And we appreciate one more.
I'm Nick. I'm Nick Barney.
What? You can pull it down to you.
Oh, okay. I'm Nick Varney, and I'm from Troop 40 as well, and I'm working on citizenship in the community.
Thank you.
Oh, and also, I'm private.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jared Kelly from Troop 40, working on citizenship in the community.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Another one? I love this. Come on up.
I'm Samuel, and I'm from Troop 40, and I'm working on my community citizenship badge, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for y'all coming. Councilmember Price's son is an Eagle Scout, and Councilmember Orleans and Councilmember DePolito were both in the Scouts, so it's an honorable thing to do, and we really welcome y'all here. And before I forget, Councilmember Eichelhard and Mayor Wood are absent with excuses for tonight. Okay, open forum. Who would like to come up first? Yes, please come up, and what we do require is that you state your name and your address. And your card you can give to Ms. Breckville.
I'd already turned that in back there.
Oh, you did? Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi. My name is Glenn Grossman, and I'm in Troop 40. I'm sorry. My address is 160 Thompson Place, and reason I'm here is this month marks 25 years since I bought my house in Roswell, and I used to be a lot more involved with City Council and Adopt a Stream and zoning issues and so forth. Mr. Orleans and I have worked on the Adopt a Stream program, the mayor and so forth. So I just want to talk about my impressions of what you guys have done with the city of Roswell in the last 25 years. I don't know how often you guys get to just drive around the city, how often you get around. I'll be speaking mostly about the west side of 400. I seem to end up driving around through our city quite often, being right in the heart of the historic district. And I think back on all the years with the zoning issues and permitting of the new developments. I have to say that we have one very beautiful city. I just get struck by it as we're driving around. I look at these neighborhoods that were built in the 90s, and we got a good tree ordinance in there. We started enforcing stream buffers, keeping that vegetated buffers, and now all that has matured. And just as I drive around, that's the first impression I get is, look how beautiful our city is, how the regulations that we put in did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to give us just a good place to live. And there's other things that speak to that. Parks and recreation. I could go on forever. I started putting a list of things, and I decided I'll just stick to the stuff that's I'm mostly an outdoor kind of guy, even though I've played on basketball teams and stuff like that. The things that have been done with the outdoors, the bicycling. I mean, you got everything from mountain bikes to street bikes to BMX. If you get down by the river on just about any weekend, and it's going to be pretty cool this weekend, but I bet the same is going to hold true. You'll find people, if you try to make a list of the different types of activities going on there, you would have quite a list, even this weekend when it's going to be kind of cold. There's people walking, running, hiking. They got kids, they got dogs, kayaking, fishing, boating, crew, tubing, just being there. I think down by the river, what our Parks and Recreation Department has done, and I know the Public Works and Transportation Departments had to be heavily involved in a lot of that. Having the entire southern boundary of the city of Roswell, or at least I know on the western side, I'm not sure if it's on the eastern side, but completely bordered by the river, and to have made all of that boundary parkland. And I'm just having the time of my life on my 12-speed mountain bike, tooling down those trails there, or going over to where we got the mountain trails. And I'm just trying not to spill myself onto all the rocks on the trails as I go along. So it's to me, I think we got a lot to be proud of there. The bane of our existence, the city of Roswell, is the fact that we are like the crossing point for the Chattahoochee River for everybody kind of north and northwest of here, and therefore we have a lot of traffic. And I watch as Public Works and the transportation people are squeezing every little lane improvement that they can get around Holcomb Bridge and Alpharetta Street and Alpharetta Highway. And I've read of further improvements, and I know we're looking at a new crossing over 400 that would not involve an interchange, which would relieve a lot of stress. That new intersection at Alpharetta Highway and Holcomb Bridge Road, that is a monster, and it works very well. And as I look at it, though, I say, where are we going to fit the next 10 cars that come along? But your staff has just done just a tremendous job with getting the most out of everything we have. Road projects. Well, Holcomb Bridge Road, of course. The bridges. Have you guys seen the cover of Georgia Engine? This is from 2 years ago. Have you guys ever seen this? No, this is the City of Atlanta's bridge over Big Creek at the Oxbow Road. Is on the cover of Georgia Engineer, was on the cover in 2011. Stu, how come you didn't show them all that?
They've seen it.
I thought they probably had. you guys have a wonderful asset in Stu Mooring. I mean, I knew from the moment that he got here and he started working on the wetland projects, civil engineering has changed just tremendously. I mean, when I was a kid and I was going to college, and you know, a dam was just this wonderful, perfect thing because it created a reservoir and it prevented flooding and so forth. But now water quality is the biggest issue, and dams aren't always the best thing anymore. It can cost more to keep them operating than the benefits that they provide. But you guys got in Stu a person that understood the old guard, but he's also obviously very articulate in where we've gone now. And as I look over at the, I don't know what we call it anymore, the big shopping center right at the corner of Alpharetta Highway and Holcomb Bridge Road, around the golf course back there. There's all these vegetated swales, these natural, what we call best management practices, places for the water to drain into like a wetland area or just a grassed swale where it can remove the pollutants and thereby reduce the cost of treating water, and also meeting the regulations. A lot of regs out there these days. So there's all of that. The new traffic circle. I want to say something about the gentleman from the church at Latter-day Saints, right by the traffic circle. I was helping a friend who was having a problem with her car in your parking lot, and I'd say we couldn't count the number of people that came by and offered to help. So it says a lot about your congregation, and we thank you very much. You guys had a hearing about, or a meeting about putting in traffic circles. I'm from New Jersey, the home of the great Bruce Springsteen. New Jersey has the notoriety of having tried everything bad in transportation before anybody else. Okay, and that's because, you know, we're due west of New York City and a lot of stuff is going there. There was a book written about one of our highways. It was called Killer Highway. But to get back on the point, New Jersey has lots of traffic circles. So I'm at this meeting chewing the ear off of one of the engineers about, I wasn't sure how it was going to work. New Jersey is now plowing under all its traffic circles, is what I was telling them. But the difference is they tried to do it on a bigger scale where you had two highways intersecting. And I mean, I was taught when you got to a traffic circle, you moved over a couple of lanes and you drove around and then you moved back to the outside or you got out of there. So this traffic circle, I drive through it as often as I can, basically, and see that it's working extremely well. And we know that it's saving us money, it's preventing head-on collisions. It's definitely a benefit to the city that your traffic department latched onto that, as well as other measures. I mean, this bridge over Big Creek, I don't know if you guys remember before it was built. If I were to compare it to whitewater rafting, it was a Class 5 rapids, okay? It don't get any higher. I mean, it was vertical, horizontal curves with an intersection and steep grades. Beautiful job, very well done, as well as the one that was done over Grimes Bridge Road, or, no, I'm sorry, the other one, Folk Killer Creek at Hembry. So you guys have just done a lot of really good things. Ms. Love, notice that our bills have changed, and now it includes if an overpayment has been made by a customer. I don't know if that had anything to do with my letter to you, but I stressed that I thought it was a good idea. And actually, reinforcement came about a week or two later when the city of Atlanta had, I don't know, maybe a couple of dozen people that their water bills had gone from like $80 to $800, and the city's telling them that they all have leaks all at the same time. But I can bet you that they sure needed that column of how much the city owes the citizens once they figure out what the heck happened there. The other thing is I come into City Hall every so often for permits or documents. I do a lot of expert witness testimony, so I'm picking up documents and so forth for that. And you know, after several times coming in here, I was trying to find a word to describe what the employees are like. There was kind of this little similarity in how all the employees were. And I finally hit on the word, and the word was happy. It was like I realized that everybody I met, everyone I talked to, everyone was just relaxed, professional, and happy. Now you realize if you were in the real world, I've read articles where it says if your employees are too happy, you're doing a bad job. You're supposed to be cutting the corners some more. But in all honesty, it's always a pleasure to come into City Hall, and it's a pleasure to have a chance to talk to all of you. So thank you very much.
Wow. I don't think we're too used to that. Yes, thank you very much. And I know the mayor, if he was here, would be saying something about that too. And thank you all so much, because it is staff. We probably have one of the best staffs in the state, probably at the Southeast. And you're right, with Steve Asenbrag, and we have him right here, Stu Maureen, Joe, our chiefs are here, everybody that's sitting over there. And thank you so much, because we feel like we're doing a good job, but it's always good to have a citizen come up and tell us that we're going to doing a good job. So thank you so much for taking time out to do that. Now, Councilmember Orleans.
Glenn, I just want to congratulate you on your 25 years here. That's great. And I want to thank you for your help back in the 90s when you were involved, or a little more involved, and helped get some of these things kicked off and started on the right direction. So thank you very much, and thanks for coming tonight and sharing it with us.
Okay, next. Come on up.
My name is Forrest Buchanan. I live at 225 Nestor Court in Roswell. I'd just like to echo the comments made previous to me that this is, if you ever have to come to City Hall, it is a pleasurable experience, even if what you're asking has been declined. These are very good people, and I hope you can hang on to them. Unfortunately for me, I would like to propose to you all that in the language of the United Nations, that Fulton County is a failed state. I don't know if you saw this in the paper. Fulton County has a board of assessors of 5 members. 2 of the members have had their licenses to appraise yanked for different times. One, a Mr. Doug Johnson, his was for incompetence, negligence, and falsifying documents. Rick Kenny, his was for negligence and overvaluing a duplex. Both gentlemen declined to resign. Although Mr. Kenny recently resigned because he moved to a different county. In the elections of coming up this November, at first we had a Mr. Westmoreland who finally resigned and was fired on his second DWI. It was also came out that he had padded his resume extensively, and luckily he is gone. My concern as a Republican is that my vote will be counted by a bunch of incompetent Democrats down in Atlanta in this coming election. The Fulton County courts, recently there was a judge that behind the bench there were 10 years worth of suits of misdemeanors over 10 years that had been lost. The next morning, the public defender issued over 1,000 to get those charges taken over and discharged for lack of a speedy trial. And then recently we had Fulton County Jail. They're asking for over $1 million to replace the locks on there because they can be picked. Now, that to me is incredible that you can install locks in a jail that could be picked. My reason for giving this little spiel tonight on the things of Fulton County is that the legislature is going to go into session this January. Now, unless you're all going to have another open meeting on December the 31st, which I doubt seriously, I would suggest to you all that you all go to our legislative delegation and this time tell them we want to up or down vote on the recreation of Milton County. I can see nothing that shows that there will be any improvement down in Fulton County. And as a taxpayer, both in property taxes and also in sales taxes that go down into that black hole, I strongly suggest, I'd also like you all to get with Alpharetta and the City of Milton to get them to impress upon our legislative delegation that we want to up or down vote. I don't want to read in April that it wasn't brought up because somebody thought, well, we didn't have all the votes. I would this time like an up or down vote. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you, Mr. Buchanan. This is one time I wish the mayor was here because I know he's very involved with the North Fulton Municipal Association, which comprises of all the North Fulton mayors. And I know that Milton County has been on their agenda more times than what we could probably count, and I'm hoping that they will do that, exactly what you said. I think we do need a vote up or down on that one. Thank you so much for bringing that to us tonight. Anybody else? I cannot believe this. It's okay. Come on out.
Hello, I'm John Bridges at 1370 Riverside Road. I live on the corner of Eves and Riverside, and I'm a little concerned with the Complete Street project.
Bring the microphone up for us, please, because we're taping it, and I can't really hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, whoops. I think just talk a little bit into the microphone. If you could do your name and address for us one more time, please.
I'm John Bridges at 1370 Riverside Road, and I'm a little concerned with the Complete Street project down Eves Road. It seems that it's a little tight in some areas, and it's just not fitting with the subdivision entrances. Sentinel on the River is getting their whole front pushed back right up against the wall. There's also a really gorgeous stretch of undeveloped property right past there. It just is so natural and full of trees and woods, and I think if you put this project through, it's just going to look like a city landscape. I'm trying to work with Steve a little bit on keeping that intersection as rural and as attractive as possible at the end with the four-way, and I think we found some compromise there. I'd like to say that my uncle said one of his greatest pleasures was watching people work, and I got to see Steve work this morning, and he's really wonderful at what he does. He had the answers, and he was honest and direct with everybody. It was a pleasure to see how he represented the city. And that's about it. I've gotten some comment cards from some of the meetings, and the people didn't seem to respond very well to the roundabout up at where the park was coming together with Eves Road. They didn't see the need for it, and I don't see that either. It's only a busy two-lane, and maybe certain times of the day people coming out of Martin's Landing. They also didn't see why there should be an entrance coming out of the back of the park. I know that's probably one of the things that the park wants, but it seems like people like those trees there. It's just the natural. That's a very well-functioning street at this time. It couldn't function any better than the way it is. There are some gaps in the sidewalk that could easily be fixed by a couple of very small projects. And it looks like the whole reason for starting this was a conflict between the bicycle riders and the automobiles on that road. And I don't think that putting in infrastructure that is going to encourage more bicycle riding is actually going to solve the problem. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bridges. And since you are working with Steve Eisenbrack, I don't think we need for you to come up and talk. But thank you, and I know that Mr. Eisenbrack and Mr. Glover is listening very well to all your comments. Anyone else?